Morning devotional, chapter number 10. It talks about getting rid of the old life and reminders. And it says, this is very important, although some do not realize it is such. Have you ever heard of an old song and immediately were reminded of exactly what you were doing when it was popular? And have you ever experienced a depression after listening to music that brought back old memories? It's not a good practice to keep remindings of your old life around. Examples of things to get rid of: drugs, photos of old boyfriends, girlfriends, etc., liquor, tobacco, productions, music, CDs of the worldly nature, books and appearance of occult nature, pornography, and other minerals, contrary to Christian principles. The books of Philopathia and other religious, any wholesome materials that could cause you to stumble. Scriptures of meditation: 2 Corinthians 5 and 17, Acts 19, 18 verse 19 verse. Okay, that's it. I want to just say that with me doing these devotionals, I'm really grateful to be doing this because this is something that I've always wanted to do. And a lot of, I would say, a lot of young people don't think that you have to, have a roadmap in your life. You want some sort of roadmap to lead you. And even that we're living in this society where people are all like, oh no, we can't live like that, or we can't do this, or we can't do that. Like, people think and they portray like we're in bondage because we want to get, like down in this example of things to get rid of. What they listed here, the music, the worldly nature, books, pornography, and other suggestions of materials, and contrary to the Christian principles. And you don't want things to be in your life that are gonna be a hindrance to your relationship with God. And I can say through my years of being a Christian, the Lord started working on me about certain convictions that He wanted for me. And I believe that, we have to we can't get so focused on where we were at one point. We got to get focused on where we're going, because if you don't get focused on where you're going, you're going to have a blind side, and you don't want that in your life. I know that I don't, because there's people that they're going to bring up their past. They're going to bring up all their failures, things that, that they weren't being true to God and holding on to His foundation. But like this devotional says, get rid of old life reminders. And I'm glad that sometimes it takes people going through different transitionings in your life to realize that, hey, look, I want to live a life to be pleasing to God, whether people want you to. And this thing, when you come on over to holiness, the holiness Pentecostal way, we're not forced to live this life. People think that you are forced to, give up the TV, give up the movie house, uh, uh, give up playing board games, give up, what else is out there? Going to amusement parks, you know, uh, giving up, certain things that you used to wear, throwing them in the garbage, burning them, doing whatever. Be sensitive to God, because he knows it. And I'm telling you, if you get rid of all that other junk that don't mean you any good and get focused on something that God wants you to be focused on, then that way you can grow in the grace of, in the knowledge of God. There's a lot of people that they want to go by, it's what your preacher said, it's what this person said. No, it's not. You have to get to a place where you can go out and you can say, hey, look, you might think that this is bondage, you might think whatever, but this is not bondage. This is the life we choose to live as Christians of God. And people wonder why, Mike, why do you always hang around people who are Christian people, good people of precious faith? Because it's to help you grow. It's to help you mature in God. It's not for you to feel like you're in some captivity of you can't do this, you can't do that. No, it's because God gives you the knowledge and the revelation to do what he wants you to do. That's why I don't worry about whether people are with me, whether they are against me. I'm gonna stand firm and flat-footed on the word. And I'll say this again too: when you have a foundation that you want to see your life be a light to other people in this darkened world, you as an individual have to step out and say, you know what, I'm not gonna think about my past. I'm gonna get rid of it, because it's been covered under the blood. When it's covered under the blood, it's covered under the blood. You don't need to be bringing up your past, whether this person is doing their job, whether they're not, whether they're doing this, whether they be in that, whether this person is doing. You know what, friend? Don't worry about that. Give it to God. Give it over to God. Let God take control. And I think this is really what's wrong with society. They don't want to give anything over to God. Everything that they do, it's all about me. Everything that I do, I have to do it because you want me to. No, I'm not subject to you. I'm subject to God. So I want to encourage people, get rid of old life reminders. Get rid of them. So, want to be encourager to people. And may God bless you. And may God keep you. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye now.